If you're a Ruby on Rails developer that's preparing for an online event storming session for your legacy system, you have come to the right place. In this video, together with Tomek, we'll show you that you already have events in your application, and we'll show you how you can prepare for the event storming session so that you know how to map your code into orange sticky notes. Besides that, we'll also tell you other things that you can prepare if you're invited to such a session. Hi, Tomek.
Hi, Łukasz. Yeah, we just wanted show the different perspective. So usually when you read about the event storming and so on, you have the perspective how to run it, how to run the workshop, and we would like to show you the opposite way. So you are the developer invited, and you don't know maybe what's the event storming and how to prepare for that. So that's the episode for you.
Yes. So if you already know that you're going to a session, you can ask yourself, okay, how do I find events in my code? I don't have any events. I'm following the Rails way. Turns out that you have events in your code. And if we look at the code right now, as you can see that I prepared two controller methods here, add item and remove item. So you can probably quickly determine what it does. But what is important here is that we have an order that adds an item, and then product is decreased, and order product stock level is decremented, and order is saved. How could we show that in an event storming session? So if you look at this side of my screen, at the right side at the board, you can see that, for example, the order is created, and this is the naive version, but you may run into this, so I want to emphasize this. You may run into a version where it says that the order items are updated and stock level is updated. All right, this is what may be happening in the code itself, but business is usually not using such words, or if they do, then it's time for you to ask the questions, okay, but what do you mean by updated? And then hopefully you will run into a little bit more business-oriented language, which says that if an order is created, then you may add product to item, right? So if we think about events in event storming session, is in the past tense. So we would say product added to order as order item, for example, right? Or product removed. This would be represented by those two methods. One is to add an item to order, and the second one is to remove order from item. But as you can see, and this is what makes this good and bad event storming sessions, it's about the details and how deep you go. You can also see that in that place, besides adding product or order item to an order, we also decrement the stock level, right? So you want to have these little details as well in the event storming session. So you would also add such a sticky. So this is how you can prepare from the code perspective. And I told you that there are multiple events that you have. So let's look for some other events. One of the examples, of course, is that you just map some kind of method that you call, for example, on the order class, on the order model, such as order item, and then you create event like this one on the right side. Same for the product decrement, already mentioned that. Okay, but if you, sorry, and now I noticed that this should go the other way around, because if we add order to item, then the product stock level is decreased, and if we remove order from item, as the code says, the product stock level is increased. All right, but now let's go to the model, because there are also interesting things happening in your model, probably, right? So if you think about this, if you have code like this, for example, if say that you have an if statement stating that if order is submitted, then the order mailer is sending some kind of email, and there is some other notification service, right? So how to prepare for that? If you look for an event, or maybe you will notice an event called order submitted, right? In your event storming session that's online, what you could do, you could create some more space in here, maybe a little bit more space even. And then how to map this into event storming session? You would just paste a sticky note, and in the sticky note you would say that deliver order email delivered, whatever this is, right? You will know because this is your business domain. But also what you would say, you would probably want to map out that customer notified, right? So as you can see, you can map those lines of codes into the orange sticky notes, and that way you can prepare because you know your code, and if you don't, then you can remind yourself of the areas that you will be exploring in the session. And that's it. That's how you can prepare for an event storming session. You can also do that with before updates, right? So you can see that if the order is expired, what you should do, let's find this event. You should also increase the product stock level, right? You can pause the video and take a look at this, right? This is exactly what is happening. You can, of course, implement it in multiple different ways, but from the business language, this is how this maps one-to-one from the code to the sticky note. All right, back to you, Tomek.
Yeah, I think it's also important what you said to emphasize that at the beginning we had like just the order items updated, right? And you have to think about it a bit like the events that you put originally that are more like CRUD events. You might need to split them into very specific events like we had like we have here now, right? And what's more, before the session, again, we in the last video we also said about it. It's important. It's very important to define the goal of the session, because if you like have a specific problem that you would like to solve, you can spend some time on learning about the problem. Not finding already the solution, because we don't want to go to the event storming session with the solution. We want to go to event storming with the problem, because altogether we want to solve a problem and not to force others to go with our solution, right? And to show the problem how it is would be good if you find if you, for example, refresh knowledge about the problem in the I don't know in the code. You find some kind of bugs that occurred in the past due to this piece of code, for example, or maybe you want to even put some screenshot, wireframes, some reports about the problem, because you want to highlight problems, and you will do it usually by defining the hotspots. We have kind of hotspot here, for example, for our example, it's that there is some kind of problem with product access, right? When we create orders, when multiple users create the order, but that's too general. Probably you would be great if you could emphasize what it actually is, right? And instead of problem with product access, you come to the session with the exact description what the problem is. So users currently trying to add the same product to the basket at the same time, and it failed, and it fails for them. So you will put those kind of hotspots on the session. So prepare for that. Prepare for that, basically.
Yeah, and remember to, because it's tempting to write down the problem as Tomek mentioned on the first sticky note. So just some very generic and high level overview. But the point is that you may forget that after 2 or 3 days, right? And with the online event storming session on Miro board, you have this nice artifact that you can come back to after some time. And this is very valuable to be explicit, as Tomek prepared the second hotspot. This is, in general, very important, speaking from experience. All right, and that's all we want to show you. So if you have any questions regarding online event storming sessions for Rails developers, let us know. We can help you to prepare better for those sessions. And thanks, Tomek. See you around.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.